Fallon here with a new product directly from my Kofi. This one is a custom loyalty point system that I built in my chat that I'm going to be sharing with you. This is very similar to your Stream Elements, your Streamlabs, or even Twitch's channel point redemption point systems, where viewers get points for watching, but also they can get points for doing things in your chat, whether it's redeeming certain channel point redemptions or by doing things that you feel meet the criteria to give them extra points. This product is useful for people who haven't reached affiliate, or even for affiliates that don't really like the way that the Stream Elements loyalty point system works. So let's flip over to Lioranboard and I'll show you how to set this up and give you some ideas of how to use it. Now, once you've downloaded this from Kofi, all you have to do is go to your downloads folder. I don't have it in my downloads folder. Go to your downloads folder, find the custom points extension. You want to cut it, go to your LB2 folder, go to transmitter, extensions, installed, and then paste it right in here. This is just a neat little place where we can keep all of our extensions put together so we don't really lose any of them. Then we'll go to Lioranboard, go to transmitter, install an extension, and then scroll down till you find custom loyalty. This is the extension that you just moved from your downloads over into this folder. When we do that, we'll get a new deck here called custom points. You'll see it says no preview. This is a super easy fix. Just go in here, resize one of the buttons, size it back up, and boom, there's your custom points. When you install this, it will give you a brand new CSV in your Lioranboard 2 folder called custom points. And in this folder, this is where we hold all the different users, their experience and their levels if you want to do a level-based system. And let's talk about that. So in here, we have two different ways for our point system to work depending on how you want to do it. Now in my stream, our points are called experience. You get experience when you watch the stream like you would for channel points or for Stream Elements points. You get points for participating in the games that we play on the stream like Pokemon. And you can get points for doing extra things. For me personally, it would be like Swiss missing. If you know, you know. But essentially, whenever you actively do a thing participating in chat, you can get points for doing that thing. And on my stream, every 1,000 experience or points, you essentially get a level up and your experience resets back to 0. So if you have 1,200 points, you would go up a level and your experience would go down to 200 and you would need 800 experience to go up to the next level. And then what we do with this is we gate off certain features for viewers based on what level they are. So for the Pokemon game specifically, anyone can throw a Pokeball, but only people who are at least level 10 can randomly have their Pokeball upgraded to a Great Ball. So this is how I utilize it in my stream. If you want to do it this way, you want to keep the top row and you want to delete the 4 buttons at the bottom. And I'll explain to you how to incorporate this system into what you're doing. The flip side of this is if you'd rather have a point system much more like Stream Elements, where you just get an uncapped amount of points over time and you spend those points as a resource to do things, then we would want to use the bottom row and you would want to delete the top row. So all we would do is we would right click the row that we don't want and go to delete button, and we would do that for the checkpoints, viewer get points, daily quest, and gift points. Regardless of which direction you choose, let's talk about what you need to do when you pick the row that you want to use. So once we set it up, we get the CSV, and then we have 2 things right here. One is on crash. So if Lioranboard crashes, let's just go into it. If Lioranboard crashes, we have a crash counter that gets posted. It's a fun little addition that I added to this. And in addition to that, we have a crash counter that gets saved. So on crash, the crash counter goes up, we post it to chat, and then it gets saved to a text file. But if we crash, our daily quest is also saved. And we'll go into the daily quest in just a minute. But essentially, all the people that redeem the daily quest, which they can do once per stream, get saved to a file on your computer. And when Lioranboard opens back up, it pulls that file back so people can't double dip on their daily quests. But if Lioranboard gets a signal from OBS that says you're no longer streaming, it will send a signal to this button that says delete the daily quest file, so we reset our users, and delete the crash counter so that the next time we stream, it does a reset for us. All of this will happen automatically. It'll make more sense as we go forward, but it's an extra feature I want to make sure we talk about. If you want more information on that, make sure you read the information section and then go through the steps it asks you to do, especially when it wants you to send a chat message. Just make sure you put your name in that field in all lowercase. And then we load loyalty whenever Lioranboard opens, it pulls that CSV file and then allows us to read information into it and add information to it. You don't have to change anything here, it just exists. Let's talk about checking points. Regardless of which one you use, the system's gonna be the same. So right click, edit triggers. I've got it set to where you can use exclamation mark level if you decide to go with a level system. Otherwise, you can use exclamation mark points. If you have both of these here, then both of these commands will trigger this button, and we'll see what this button actually does. So in here, it pulls the information in the CSV and it posts it to chat. So one thing we want to make sure we do is we go to command line number 12 and make sure we change the field that asks for your name from your name lowercase to whatever your name is on Twitch in all lowercase. Command line 12 would be right here. The numbers are, yeah, you can see that. Okay, the numbers here are written in 12. That is the wrong number. It should be 18 and 19. Let me fix that. Command line 18 and 19. Okay. But essentially what this does is it pulls the user's level and their experience and it posts it to chat. And if for some reason they have an extra amount of experience that would give them another level, then this button goes ahead and does that. So let's say you have your level 10, but you inexplicably have 1400 experience and it hasn't given you that extra level. Use this command, it'll give that level and it'll post it to chat. And it says, congrats username, you are now level, and then it says what their level is. Otherwise it'll say username, your level is current level and you need 1000 minus experience to level up. And the system is again based on increments of 1000 experience. If you want to change this number, you would want to change anything that references the number 1000 and make it to whatever works for you. Viewers get points. This button, so really to explain, checkpoints just allows the users to have a command that relays just the number of points or levels that they have, whichever is appropriate. For viewers get points, this button right here incrementally checks your viewer list and awards points for the people that are just actively in your viewer list. Your lurkers, your chatters, everyone just gets points. This triggers currently every, I believe, 5 minutes. It does trigger every 5 minutes. You can change this value to have it trigger once every 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever you want it to be. Just change this number in milliseconds to whatever the minute increment that you want is. If we double click this, we have some math to kind of show you how that incrementation works. So 1 minute is 60 seconds. There is 1000 milliseconds in every 1 second. So 60 times 1000 is 60,000 milliseconds. So 60,000 milliseconds is the equivalent of 1 minute. And that's just a little quick math for you. But make sure you read over the information button if you have any questions about what this button actually does. But really the only thing you need to do here is you need to go to command line number 12 and change your name here to be whatever your name is in all lowercase. Then what this will do is it'll just pull your viewer list, gets your VIPs, your moderators, it puts everyone into one list, and then it gives everyone some points. Now down here on line number 20, this is where you can exclude certain viewers, specifically bots, from receiving points if you don't want them to get points. Now, it doesn't hurt anything to give them points, but if for some reason you wanted to sort the CSV and list the people with the top 10 people and their points or levels, you probably don't want bots to show up in that list. This just cleans this up in case you end up wanting to do that. So all you have to do is take the username does not equal and put the bots that would normally appear in your chat. If you have Seribot's there. If you don't use stream elements, let's say you use Nightbot, cool, just change that to Nightbot, keep it in the quotes. If there's a row here you don't want, hit the trash can. If there's more rows that you need, just hit the little plus sign right here, hit and then fill in username does not equal, whatever the next bot is, essentially. And then make sure when you scroll down that oh no, we don't have anything here to put a username. Okay, so the viewers get points if they level up, this does not send any message to chat. This just ensures that your lurkers don't get called out for being lurkers. The daily quest here is a once per stream, either channel point redemption or chat command, whichever you'd rather it be, that awards users a certain amount of points that they can use once per stream. If you want this to be a channel point redemption, right click it, go to edit triggers, hit the little plus key, go to channel points, and then create a channel point on Twitch's end. You should probably know how to do channel point creation on Twitch's end, but if you don't, you can find a video. I'm sorry, I'm not going into that today. But create a channel point redemption, set the point cost whatever you want, and then copy the name of that channel point redemption from Twitch and paste it here. It's got to have the same spelling, same capitalization, same spacing, everything. Otherwise, you can just hit load from Twitch API, find the channel point redemption daily quest, boom. So when they redeem that, it does this button. So looking into it, this button again gives you a singular instance of people getting a mass amount of experience or points or whatever you want to call it at one time. They can only do it once per stream. So really the only thing you need to do here is to make sure that you change the name here on lines 18 and 19. And if you want to change the name from daily quest to something else, just change the text here to be whatever you want your channel point redemption or effect to be called. And then the last thing we have here is the give points. Now this one is a little confusing, so let's make sure we talk about it as in-depth as possible. So if you right click it and hit edit triggers, you'll see that we have an extension trigger called custom points with 2 asterisks. In Lioranboard, these are called wildcards. Essentially, this is plug and play information. Whatever Lioranboard sees here, it will utilize it. And if you probably recognize this one at the top here, a chat message, exclamation mark, add points, blank blank is typically username points for things like stream elements or any other bot that does loyalty points. I can't really think of one off the top of my head. But the formatting here is going to be very familiar to you. But we really want to remember custom points, blank, blank, because this is going to be important. So let's go into here. We have a lot of information that really comes out at you. But what we need to talk about is this trigger extension. So if you have a channel point redemption that you want your viewers to receive points in this system, you want this command line. So just hit the scissors, hit save, hit save. Let's just go and create a new button, right? We'll say that this is a button that is a channel point redemption and does a thing, and you want it to then give, experience, right? So we'll hit paste. What we have here is we're gonna trigger the custom points extension, and we're gonna feed a username and a point value into it. So if your channel point redemption, let's do a trigger pull. Let's do channel point username because we want it to be in lowercase. And we can call this point redeem username. You can name it anything. That's kind of what I'm getting at here, is you can name it whatever you want. So the channel point redemption will do whatever you want it to do. Then we want to uncheck this and we want to feed this into it as the username. So we want $$ and then this variable that's holding the username. And then we have points. So let's say this particular channel point gives 150 points when they do it. We do 150. So when they redeem the channel point, we make sure that we pull their username. We hold the username in whatever variable we want to create, name it what you want. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll have the extension trigger custom points, pulling their username into it with our backslashes and $ and a point value. And what that's going to do is it's going to go back and trigger that other button, and it's going to feed the username and the points into it, and then it's going to do stuff with it. So if we go back in here, once we do that, we pull the username from the first wildcard, which is wildcard 0, and we pull the points from the second wildcard, which is wildcard 1. Then we make sure that we lowercase this name just in case. We remove the @ symbol from it if it exists for some reason. And then we add rows, we add their points, that 150 points that they had, we add that into it. And then we check to see if they could get a level. If they can, we give them that level. We reduce their experience down by 1,000. And then we send chat messages. Just the same chat message we were sending before. Congratulations, you are now level X. Or if they didn't level up, you are currently this level. This is how much you need to level up again. So just make sure you change the channel names for that as well. Now, if you want to use the levels as a gate to have something happen, that's where these commands are going to come in. So we're going to hit copy for all of these. Copy, save, save. Back over here. Now let's say that you want them to only be able to do something with this redemption or chat command or whatever it is if their level reaches a certain threshold. What we'll do is we'll make sure that we put these boxes in here. So once we pull information, we use the CSV get box to find out what their level is. And you want to take whatever variable you're holding their username with and paste it right in there. You don't have to wrap this in backslashes and $signs because it's a yellow box, so it's going to read that variable properly. So we use a get box for level on the username. We convert that string to a number because it gives us a string for the box. And then we check to see what that level is. If that level is less than or equal to whatever level you want it to gate with, it will send a message that says you need to be at least this level to use the command. Your current level is level, and you probably want just less than, not less than and equal to. And then make sure you put your chat message. So this will pull their level, turn it to a number, do a string compare, and then gate it if it's under a certain level. And then it'll exit that button. So this is how you can gate chat commands or processes inside your games or your events or channel point redemptions or chat commands or whatever you have on your stream. You can gate it with this feature and only allow people with certain levels to either use the feature completely or to access specific things. So we'll hit save, and we'll go back. And the bottom side is the same thing, except your give points. If you want your points to be a resource that viewers gain over time and then lose when they do stuff, they use the points to do things, you would want to use this section instead. So we do a CSV get box. We find out how much experience they have. You can call your points whatever you want, but the CSV is going to see it as a column called experience. That way the CSV works, no matter if you do the level or the point system. But you do the get box, make sure you put their username in there. We turn their experience into a number because it starts off as a string. And then we do our if statement. If your experience or your points are less than whatever value you want to have, you'll have a return message, and you can format this message however you want that says your points are high enough, you can't do this. And then in the negative of the if statement, so let's say you can only use this particular thing if you have at least 500 experience or 500 points. If you don't have it, it'll kick it with a message that you format. If you do have that many points, it will subtract that many and it will save that. So this is how you can use points as a resource. It checks to see if they have that many. If they do, it subtracts that many, it saves it, and then it will continue on to do whatever the thing is that you want it to do. And again, make sure you change your name here to be all lowercase. It's a pretty simple setup, more or less. Hopefully you won't have any major issues going through here and setting it up. If you do have any problems or any questions, hit me up in the Discord. And also feel free to use these extra buttons that I added in. If you want to link somebody to my Twitch, then you can open the Stream Deck and click this button and it will link my Twitch. Or if you'd like to link my Kofi so that other people can have products like this one as well, feel free to link that as well as the YouTube and the Discord. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Thank you so much. I've got to learn to start drinking stuff while I make these videos before my voice goes hoarse. If you like this video, if you like the stuff that I put out, please feel free to like and subscribe. Throw a little comment down below. Let me know if you like this product or some other product you'd like to see made in the future. And don't forget, I do stream 3 days a week on Twitch, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And I make stuff like this live while I'm there. If you have any questions, feel free to come in, see what we're up to, drop us a follow, and hang out with us for a while. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay hydrated. We'll see you in the next video.